Hi guys, and welcome back to Cooking with Queenie. I'm so happy to be back uploading. I will try my very best to continue to do this, okay? So today I'm going to show you guys how I make my roasted red pepper chicken and fresh pasta. So we're going to start off with fresh pasta. I made this batch already, so now I'm going to show you how to make it from scratch. So all you're going to need is 2 cups all-purpose flour, 1 cup measure cup, okay? And then 1 teaspoon of salt, and just mix that together. I'd make kind of like a funnel in the middle. You want it to kind of have like a little, space in the middle there. We're going to add in 2 eggs, 5 tablespoons of water. I'm using bottled water. I would prefer you to use bottled water instead of tap water because there could be minerals in there that might make your pasta taste funny, okay? And we're also going to add in 1 tablespoon of olive oil, extra virgin olive oil. Now go ahead and mix that up. Combine all those liquids together in the center and then slowly start combining the flour with the wet mixture. You're gonna get a very crumbly, kind of wet, but really crumbly dough. You do not want your dough to be super wet and super sticky, okay? You want it to be more on the crumbly side. And then you're going to hand mash it or hand massage it. I'm not sure how you say this. We say mash. So you're gonna hand mash it and bring all of those crumbles together to create a more uniform dough, ball of dough. And don't mind my nails. I'm cooking for my family, not a restaurant. I don't wear gloves when I'm cooking for my family unless I'm seasoning a whole bunch of meat. Other than that, I don't wear gloves. So now you're going to need a piece of saran wrap. You put your dough in there, all right, and try to combine it together to create kind of a ball. And then you're going to wrap the dough, wrap the dough in the saran wrap and kind of hold it like this. Look how I'm doing it. And put it down on the counter. Press it down just a little bit just to get everything to stick together and then just start turning it. This is going to force all of the ingredients to kind of combine together, and this is what it should look like. The darker one is the one that's been sitting already. You're gonna let this sit for about 20 to 30 minutes. You can put it either in the fridge or on the counter. Now for the red bell peppers, I'm just gonna roast them. I'm adding some extra virgin olive oil on them and I'm just gonna rub it all over them. I have it on this pizza tray that I covered in foil, and I'm just gonna put it in the broiler, which is the top part of my oven. It comes on and it gives a nice crust caramelization on meats, and it basically helps roast foods. That's what it is, like a roaster oven. All right, so put it in your broiler. I put it in my broiler for 15 minutes on one side, then I'm going to turn them over and let them broil on the other side for another 15 minutes. Okay, we want it to have that char. That's what gives it that roasted taste. It's delicious and it smells great. All right, so this is how they're going to look. Isn't it cool how they start sinking in? Super cool. All right, so once we have it roasted, you guys see all the juices that are around it. That's gonna go into our chicken as well. It's gonna give it a beautiful taste. So once it's done, we're gonna take out the stem that's still attached to them, and we're gonna take out majority of the seeds. If you want, you can pre-clean the bell peppers, but I find it's that when you pre-clean them and then roast them, you don't get as many juices and it's a mess and it overcooks a lot for me personally. But if you want to pre-clean them, you can go ahead and do that. I don't mind a couple of seeds at all. All right. Once you have them cleaned out, you can go ahead and cut them up. We want big chunky pieces. If you like smaller pieces, you can definitely do that, but I'm doing very big chunky pieces, at least 1-inch slices, because once it gets in the pan, they're gonna break up a bit. So I'm putting it back into that pizza pan that I used and just letting it sit there till I'm ready for it. Now I'm gonna cut up 1.5 onions. These are medium-sized onions. And I'm also gonna cut up some parsley. This is about a 1/2 cup of parsley. And cut it up very fine. And that's how that's going to look. And I'm also gonna add about 3 tablespoons of garlic. I love garlic. If you don't have to add that much. All right. I'm going to be using 4 pounds of chicken breast for this dish. So cut it up in slices like so. And once you have it in slices, transfer it to a bowl. Add in about 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. The olive oil will help make the ingredients stick to the meat. So I'm seasoning with kosher salt, and I have about 1 teaspoon of salt. I also have 1 teaspoon of freshly ground black pepper, and every other ingredient pretty much after this is 1 teaspoon. I have a teaspoon of paprika. I have a teaspoon of garlic powder because the dish has already so much fresh garlic. I have a teaspoon of that. And then I'm also going to add in a teaspoon of onion powder. Once I have all of that in there, I'm going to go ahead and combine all of those ingredients with the chicken. Then I'm just going to cover it and then put it in the fridge until I'm ready for it. So this is how it's going to look. Okay. Now for the pasta, I'm using this pasta maker. This is a manual, I guess, pasta maker. You would use your hand to crank it up. It's not like, the machine like the KitchenAid, which I've used before. But I will be giving away one of these pasta makers in this video. So just wait until the end, okay? Alright, so here is my pasta dough that we made, and it's set. And I'm just going to cut them in fours. This will just make it easier for you to make your pasta. You don't want to cut it in half, and then you're going to have like really, really long pasta unless you have someone helping you, So once I have it cut, I'm going to kind of roll it out a bit. Just a little bit, not too much. Once I have it rolled out to a certain thickness, I don't want it to be too thin. I'm going to set my machine. It has an adjuster to the number 7, which will be the biggest thickness or widest thickness that it has. Okay, you want to start with the widest one first. You don't want to go right away to the thin one, okay? So I start with number 7 and then I go to number 5. And you just pass it through maybe 2 or 3 times. This is something really fun to do with the kids, It really teaches them about food and how it's made and stuff like that. Now I go to number 4 before I go to 3, which will be a perfect thickness for some people. If you like thin pasta, you can definitely do number 2. But 3 would be best because if you overcook pasta that's really, really thin, it can be really, really hard to work with, and it could just break and fall apart. Alright, so here are some of my sheets that I already did. You have to make sure you have a good amount of flour on the pasta sheets to make sure they don't stick. Okay, you don't want them to stick together while coming out. So the flour, the extra flour that you guys see all over the place, that's to prevent the pasta from sticking together. Alright, even when it's cut, the extra flour on them keeps them from sticking together. It's super easy to make your own pasta, and it digests faster and it cooks faster and it tastes better to me. Alright, so that's how that's made. Now I'm going to go ahead, add my water to my pot and my salt and let that boil. Then I'm going to go ahead and start cooking our chicken breast in extra virgin olive oil. I have my heat on medium-high heat because chicken breast cooks really fast, faster than dark meat. So definitely keep an eye on this. Don't put it in there and then just walk away. You have to watch it because if you overcook your chicken breast, it's going to be really dry and tough. Even though there's going to be a sauce, you just don't want to overcook it, okay? So I'm going to let that cook for 10 to 15 minutes, stirring it occasionally, letting it cook on one side and then stirring it again to make sure everything cooks evenly throughout. Then I'm going to go in and add in my onions and my garlic. And we're going to stir that around until it starts to wilt a bit. So meaning, the onions, they start to get soft. I'm also going to add in a tablespoon of Italian seasoning. I'm going to mix that up. This is a really easy dish I feel you can make. Even if you just buy already made pasta. I also added in a half cup of white wine. This is cooking wine, okay? Not the kind that you could drink. This tastes terrible as far as drinking, but it's good for cooking. And you could buy it in any store. I buy the Goya brand cooking wine. It's white cooking wine. So once that's cooked down a bit, I'm going to go in and add half a bar of cream cheese, which I cut in 4 pieces. Okay, and this is going to make our sauce creamy. You guys, the reason why I think I don't upload a lot is because I'm not big on measuring when I cook. It's not a thing that I do. I measure when I bake, but not when I'm cooking food, okay? So I'm more of a eyeballer than a measurer. Now we can go ahead and add in our beautiful roasted red bell peppers. You guys, I wish you could smell this. If you make it, you'll definitely smell it. They smell amazing. You can even buy them in a jar, but I don't know. I don't like them in a jar. They break apart so quickly in the jar. I don't know how long they've been sitting in the jar. So it's best to just make them yourself. Okay. Once we have that in there, we're going to add in our parsley, all of it, and give it a nice stir. And we're just gonna let it cook for another 5 to 10 minutes, covered. I'm also gonna add a bit of thyme towards the end of the cooking process. The thyme I'm adding towards the end because it has such a strong flavor and I want that to be in there towards the end and kind of give off that really sweet thyme aroma in the chicken. So I'm only using about 3 sticks of thyme and I'm taking off the leaves and then just giving it a quick stir because it's pretty much done. And that's pretty much it for the chicken, you guys. It's done. It took about maybe 20 to 25, 30 minutes for this chicken to be fully cooked and for this entire chicken dish to be made. Now that our water is boiling, we're going to add in our pasta. And the pasta literally takes half the time to cook than box pasta because it's fresh. It doesn't need, 10 minutes to cook. So maybe 5-6 minutes boiling and it will be done. You don't want to overcook it either, okay? So I cooked this pasta for about 5 minutes and it was fully done. I drained it and then mixed it in with some extra virgin olive oil to keep it from sticking. Alright, but if you guys want to know how to win the pasta maker that I use to create my pasta, all you have to do is subscribe to this channel, give this video a thumbs up, comment down below, I love fresh pasta. Alright, I'm sorry you guys, I didn't even realize my camera wasn't recording when I put the pasta in the plate, but pretty much all you do is put the pasta in the plate, add the chicken on top, and add some freshly grated Parmesan or Romano or mozzarella on top, and that will be your final dish. I hope you guys enjoyed this cooking tutorial. I hope you make it. If you did, let me know down below in the comment section or you can tag me on Instagram, and good luck on the giveaway, guys. Love you. Bye.